But right now in the circumstances, God doesn't want them to concern themselves with what they can see. He wants them to concern themselves with what they cannot see. They're trying, friend, to see what the future holds, and all they know about the future is D-E-A-T-H. Today we're going to die, and if today's not the day we're going to die, then tomorrow we're going to die. Surely the grim reaper is going to come at the hand of Pharaoh. Friend, they see the sea before them, they see the host of the army behind them. They're not looking to God. Right now, God just wants them to stand still by faith and trust Him that He knows exactly what He's doing.
Amen.
Now, tactically, as I've already said, no general, no colonel, no captain, no lieutenant, no sergeant, no first in command, no soldier in his right mind would ever tactically put his unit in the position with the enemy that God has put Israel in.
Amen.
Hello? Why? Because they know what's going to happen. We're going to lose. But God put them there to stand still. Just stand still. Wait on the Lord. Just stand still. And in the midst of this, friend, while this is going on so they can by sight, all of a sudden they watch that pillar of a cloud. How they watch it, friend, as it begins to move. And it begins to go down the side of the columns of Israel. And it removes itself from the front to the rear. And it puts a division, it puts a separation between them and Pharaoh. And then when the night falls, friend, on the other side it remains a pillar of a cloud. And Pharaoh can't see through the darkness. But that pillar of a cloud becomes light for the children of Israel, and they can see everything as clear as day.
Yeah.
But circumstances hasn't changed. They're still in a tactical mess. And some of them are still questioning Moses, why in the world have you done what you've done? Our days are numbered. But the second challenge is this. You find it down in verse number 15. The first one was just simply stand still. But then you come down to verse number 15, the Bible said, And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. There's the Red Sea. And God said, Moses, just tell them, teach her. Forward! March! What? What did he just say? He said, quit standing! Forward! March! But Moses, I can't swim.
Yeah.
That's all that's in front of them. It's a long way to the other side. Hello? Wow. Well, that's a step of faith. I mean, God has just told him to go forward before he's ever told him to raise his staff and before he's ever set the east wind, friend. He said, Moses, tell him to go forward. Now that's not so bad if you're in the back ranks. But if you're on the first rank, friend, you're already ankle deep in the Red Sea. You've already, man, just about had 14 cardiac arrests over the circumstances, and you just can't get over the fact that there you are, and you're standing ankle deep in water, and you know you can't swim, and if you could, you know it's too far to the other side. You certainly couldn't make it that far, and you've been standing all this time. Now Moses is telling you to go forward. You get about halfway back through the ranks, and it's like sitting at the red light down here on Patton Avenue when you're halfway back and you see the arrow turn green. You've already sat there through 3 arrows, and you're getting impatient. Hey! Go on up there! Don't you know the light don't stay green forever? And the Israelites are standing back there in the ranks and say, hey! Didn't you hear what he said? He said, go forward! Bless God, don't you know Pharaoh's right on my heels? Go on! Amen. Well, that's a challenge.
Sir. Yeah, amen.
That's a challenge. But don't you understand and realize this morning, church, that the reason for a Red Sea experience in your life is for God to put you in those circumstances that you cannot control and to challenge you to where you're going to have to choose what you're going to do in the midst of those circumstances?
Amen.
Can I tell you that in the midst of all of this, tribulation worketh patience? Patience experience, and experience hope. By the time they do get to the other side, they're going to have a new experience under their belt.
Yeah.
And they're going to recognize that their hope has tremendously been built up, and it's going to help them in days to come. But it's not just going to help them as far as a personal experience, but it's going to help them to help their children that come up in the ranks. It's going to help them one day, Brother Mike, help those infants that are born over there in the land of Canaan. And because the Israelites don't do what they're supposed to do and drive out all the inhabitants of the land, there'll still be giants that will have to be faced. There'll still be giants that will have to be battled. There'll still be those Canaanites that will have to be whooped and dealt with. Friend, this experience is going to help this generation right now how to be able to help the generation that's coming down the road behind them. Amen.
Yeah.
Stand still. Now look down at verse number 21. Verse 21 said this, and Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land. And the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand, and on their left. So here's this big, huge wall of water on the right hand, big, huge wall of water on their left. And we don't know how wide the path is, but it's certainly wide enough for them to get through.
Amen.
And that east wind, it's blowing all night, and it's still blowing. And man, look, that seabed is dry. After all of the thousands of years that it's been soaked with that seawater, friend, just overnight, God has dried that path. But see, you can still, first thing Moses is going to say to that crowd, it's not time to stand anymore, but he's going to reverberate the order and cry out, go forward! And you can just about imagine that there's somebody standing there and saying, go forward, oh dear God. Moses, do you know what you're asking us to do? And I know that east wind is blowing overnight, man. Hey, it's only been blowing for 8 hours. Why, that seabed's been soaking up these ocean waters for years, for thousands and thousands of years. Don't you know that you're asking us to step off the beach and to mire up in the mud? Moses just says, go forward. Go forward. And you've always got that skeptical bunch. Go forward? What's going to happen if the east wind stops blowing? Moses, don't you look? We can't swim So you want us to get out in the middle so God can just let the water overflow us and we're going to drown? Go forward. See, the circumstances are still out of their control.
That's right.
They're not the one that has the power to start the east wind blowing. They don't have the power to keep the east wind blowing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
It's out of their control. Hello? Y'all understand that a Red Sea experience is out of your control?
Yeah.
Amen.
And God's got you there for a reason. And one of the reasons why you're there is God has got you on trial. God is testing you.
That's right. Amen.
Go forward, you say. Hey, wow. Still dry right there. It's all right. It's still dry. Wow. I'm 4 steps in. And the back crowd saying, hey! Pharaoh's closing in! Are you sure about this, Moses? You sure you don't want me to stand still a little longer? Isn't it amazing how we are?
Amen.
We don't want to stand still. But then after we've stood still and God says go forward, we want to stand still. Lord, I'm in a position right now, everything's okay. I'm on dry ground. I know Pharaoh's back there, but he's going to have to get through a lot before he gets to me. Go forward. Okay. Oh, that's a wall of water. I don't want to touch that. It might make it collapse. Oh, it's dry. Moses! I'm 5 steps in, man, it's still dry. You're so skeptical. You're so skeptical. We see the crossing. And all of those Israelites, rank and file, here they go. I can about imagine that, you know, you've always got several groups of people in any group. And you always have the crowd that the Bible already talked about, and that's the ones that are fearful and faint-hearted. They're terrified. So I can just about imagine, Brother Jim, that whenever that wind, that east wind started blowing the night before and God divided that water, they already kind of conceived in their mind what's going to take place. That's going to be our way out of here. That's the way God's going to get us out of here. So they probably spent all night long instead of standing still. That fearful and faint-hearted crowd, they want to be the first one to be able to make that crossing. They want to get just as far away from Pharaoh as they can possibly get. So they make their way up to the shoreline during the course of the night. And when Moses says, go forward, they hit that sand running and they never look back. They probably get about 5 acres in on the other side before they come to a screeching halt in the sand. And the reporter from CNN walks up and says, sir, I just saw that crossing. What was it like? I don't know. It was fast. It was fearful. Fast. Oh, yeah, it's fast and fearful. What did you experience? I don't know. Just sand between my toes. What did you see on the right? I didn't see nothing on the right side. What did you see on the I didn't see nothing on the left side.